In my own assessment, I would say a skill-based system of education would be better, given that if you are looking at the kind of students that we have, the kind of learners that we have, there are different capabilities. And if we want to leverage and strengthen what every student can bring on board, then the skills way is the way to go. If you look at this lack of, I would say, transition, or the over 200 learners who, or rather, the very many learners that didn't score the 200 mark,
yeah.
It already spells doom for those learners, because forever it will be known that they scored that particular mark.
Yeah.
It takes me back to the aspect of policy. You know, the one shoe fits all policy, where we are saying we want the 100% transition, regardless of the mark that the student has. And yet, there are other avenues that these children can pursue. So it's more about what we can do and how we can make the students give the best that they can be. If you look at this transition story as well, we are looking at students from various backgrounds. Of course, that is already a factor that limits.
Yeah.
We are looking at students of various genders, and I'll bring in the girl here. And of course, if you are poor, for example, and if you are a girl, that already limits you in a way. We are bringing in the aspects of gender, disabilities.
Yeah.
You know, children who are abled differently. If you look at the top candidates, in the history of this country, I have not seen a learner who is abled differently, apart, of course, from Goldalin, that, you know, top. But it's not an everyday outcome that these students make it to the top. And yet, they have the capability. It's just that we need to probe. We need to really support these learners, and we need to ensure that they are getting the best that the system can give them. If you look at the majority of us, I included, our children, especially at the primary level, do not go to the public school system. And yet, resources are put in the public school system. And yet, teachers are trained. You know, those who teach at the private schools are teachers who have trained at Regi Teachers College, at Kericho Teachers College. They go through the same system of training, even at the university level. If you look at such a state of affairs, I think I'll bring in the policy aspect and the monitoring and evaluation aspect, and agree that the private schools have put in place systems, have put in place structures that make the teachers accountable, that make everyone in the school system accountable, including the parents. You know, you have to pay your school fees. That already is a role that the parents play. The public schools, if you call for school meetings, you'll hardly find parents going in there to discuss. You'll find very few, and from our own evidence, it is the mothers who go, not because they don't have anything else to do, but it is because of the kind of attachment that they feel like they need to be in the school system. So there are so many other things that come into play if we are to say we want to get an equal playing field for all the children in this country. But accountability is the one that takes the lead. And using the evidence that we generate, even as an organization like ours, we are currently doing the assessment, the Action for Life Skills and Values, the ALIVE, which so much focuses on competencies and skills. And one thing that we are realizing is that children of 6 to 12, up to 17 years old, come out of school and do not have the right skills. And we are talking about the soft and the hard skills, the technical skills. If you go to the employment industry today, the same products of the 844 system of education cannot be able to put these skills into use because it is more of a theoretical kind of an orientation. So there is need to fine-tune, there is need to pull the strings, but what is major is the accountability aspect, so that the resources go to the right places. And I will still go back to the countries that have made strides in terms of education. The kind of investment that goes into the education, even in the budgets, are high. the kind of investment that goes to the teachers. Look at our teachers. We are looking at early childhood education. And we are saying that for you to be a teacher at ECD, you can even come in with a D+. You can even come in with a C. If you look at very many countries, for you even to be a teacher at that level, the lowest that you can have is a master's degree.
Correct. The
lowest that you can have is, you know, the kind of glamour that we have for architecture, for engineering, the A's and the B pluses are those same people who get into the teaching profession. And there's a lot of years of preparing these professionals. You even earn a certificate. You just don't become a teacher. There are a lot of assessments. If you look at their kind of supervision, you'll realize that, you know, everyone in the system is part and parcel of these checks.
Okay.
So it is something that we need to think about, and more importantly, every one of us need to play.